Evening all, welcome back to Space Engineers. Right, here we go. This is, well, we're done. We've built that, again, minus the mining lasers, and we are now pretty much ready to have a play. Now, to be honest, this thing is so big, I guess I maybe or rather underestimated how amazingly, stupendously huge this was going to be, because yeah, it turned into a bit of a beast, to be honest with you. But I must admit, amazing fun all around, and I think it's just gobsmacks me. I mean, look at that. It kind of stutters a little bit. Don't worry, that wasn't you. That was the game. It was just literally shitting out of it. And again, it saves, but oh my god, this thing took forever to save. But it has been a hell of a thing to do, and I really would recommend you give something like this a go, because you can only really ever know the limits of something until you push it. So I think certainly I was quite keen to do this, and I think flying back to my original flagship now, I kind of realised how diddy and small this thing actually is, and actually then how functional and quite nice it is as well. Look at this. You come into a proper ship. It feels like a proper ship internally. There is a bridge, there's different, there's doors, there's all that stuff. This feels like a proper ship, and I think if we can ever get our Apocalypse to this, I would be just over the moon. But I have no idea how we're going to even fit that out, because an Apocalypse is from the Amar race, therefore that would denote that there's probably like cathedrals in this thing. So maybe that's the way to go and about it, is to turn this into like a huge, place of worship. Maybe this is what the Amarians take to, non-believing planets to sort of scare them into believing their ways. Maybe there's dust quarters on here. That'd be pretty cool to do, wouldn't it? To literally just sit and work out, how we can build maybe some dust quarters or dust murk quarters in here as well. To be honest, it's going to be a huge thing to do, and we won't do it right now. So I think, that's kind of part one of this project done, and I think I'm keen to maybe move on and do something else next. But don't worry, we will revisit this, because I think, and post in the comments, tell me what you think, because I think it would be fascinating, maybe when the game's optimized just one little bit more, to try and do a proper working internal part of this ship. Because quite frankly, you could have like huge kind of army decks on this thing. It's that big. You could have like military decks. You could have, you could have just no end of stuff on this thing. Massive cargo holds, huge reactor bays, massive reactor cores running the length of the ship with gantries. It'll be awesome, wouldn't it? That's exactly what I'm looking forward to. But as we pull our kind of tiny destroyer-y type of cruiser-y thing alongside, look at that. We look out and we always see is golden. That's a real advert for the Amarian Empire, surely. I was going to go and get in my ship, but I realized my little turret's in the way, and plus I can't jump down there. I need to work on that. But anyway, so we're going to go and have a little fly out of this ship into that one. Now, again, that's probably another thing to look at some point, is if we've been able to do an Apocalypse, then a carrier isn't too much bigger. And a carrier would be quite interesting to do, maybe the Archon or the Thanatos or something like that, or maybe even the Chimera, because that's actually quite small. And that's then obviously got fighters on board like this. So that would be quite a good thing to maybe model as well. So anyway, as we undo our clamps, as we slowly take our wonderful ship out of the flagship, so we just give it a bit of a push, we turn off the inertia dampener, so that way it will just go forward, and then we just, ooh, look at that, isn't that pretty? Now this kind of then shows me how small that ship is. I mean, that is pretty small. When you look at the size of the thing, it's very, very kind of opening credits of Star Wars, isn't it? When you see was it the Corellian blockade runner? I'm a nerd for knowing that. Running away from the Imperial Star Destroyer. And I think this, yeah, I mean, look at the size of that thing compared to my flagship. This is huge. It's vast. And I think the possibilities are endless with what to do with it now, because there's plenty of, I don't know, stuff that we could basically, do with this ship and really, turn it into something quite formidable. But again, I would say that this is something that hopefully we're not going to lose these saves, because I don't really fancy building that again. Although there is a risk of that. I think I may have to look into a way to copy that down or something, I don't know. But I'm really quite, sort of chuffed that we did it. And I think the next step at some point, not certainly in the next video, but certainly the next, I think, project will be then to turn it from, a lump of metal and blocks into something workable. But hopefully it's a good proof of concept for you, because I think this is, again, just I'm really quite keen to showcase good games, and not just shooty killy death games, but actually games that maybe get your mind working a bit, and just a little bit of creativity as well has got to be good. And look at that as we fly between the two. How awesome is that? Isn't it amazing? And again, just literally a couple of hours of work and we've got already to this stage, where quite frankly, you know, you could tinker with it for months and you would turn it into just more and more of a beautiful ship. But as we kind of go into the distance, look at that, it looks pretty, as you would say. And I think, you know, again, it just shows you the kind of capabilities of the game and what you can do with it. Now, again, fun fact, I think, you know, it's kind of, I guess, a tribute in a way, because obviously this model of Apocalypse has long gone from Eve. So to me, this is a bit of, I guess, you know, old bitter veteran reminiscing, really, because this is no longer the model. But to be honest, that's the one I remember, and it certainly was my most desired battleship for years and years. And I flew one, and I was so proud when I flew one, and to have built it now in this game makes me also feel that same level of pride, because again, this was quite an achievement to do. And I think, as you can see, the game's handling it quite well, even running fraps, even running, you know, huge, you know, tens of thousands of blocks now in this map alone. It's running quite well. You know, this is the same map, so you can see the Red Dwarf here is still there. Still got all of the original Nanos platform stuff is over there, so, you know, that's not too bad indeed. Maybe we'll make a way so you can actually get a copy of this map. I don't know how. Techno Wizards, post in the comments how we can do that. And I think maybe just add me on Steam and come, you know, when you see me on, just come join the map. But don't shit it up or I will hunt you down and break you. But again, you know, just a great example of how fun computer games can be. And, you know, I always cite, and I'm kind of just, you know, going to get on my soapbox for a second here, sitting in front of the telly for 2 hours is obviously productive to a degree. Not very so, but sitting in front of a computer and doing this, I think would just be the most, you know, enjoyable, exciting pastime you could probably ask for, really, as long as you know, don't remain too sedentary, really. That's the key. So as we bring our wonderful fighter back into land, we lock it to the deck plate, and we again, I'm in my weird zero gravity field once more, but there we go, bang, there we go. And as we enter our wonderful SquadB flagship, this will remain constant no matter what happens. The flagship will remain our constant. But there we go, that was the Apocalypse, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll do some more projects very, very soon.